Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Carnegie Town Hall for this Wednesday evening's City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission meeting. Just to reiterate from our introductory video, please silence all cell phones. And as we sit up here, we do want to hear from the public on these items as we go through them. And we would ask you when you come forward, if you're going to present any testimony on any particular item, you'll limit your testimony to 5 minutes and present new information to the commission that hasn't already been discussed. So with that, we'll go ahead and get rolling here. Denise.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Item 1, approval of July 5th, 2017 minutes of regular meeting. Item 2, July plats. Item 3, 6596 2017, rezoned from the unzoned and I-1 light industrial district to the S1 general institutional and I-1 light industrial districts located at 1600 West 51st Street. Item 4, 6980 2017, rezoned from the RA1 apartment residential low density district to the RT1 single family residential traditional district for allowed forms located at 426 West 7th Street. Item 5, 6982 2017, rezoned from the RA1 apartment residential low density district to the RT1 single family residential traditional district for allowed forms located at 430 West 7th Street. Item 6, 6998 2017, rezoned from the AG Agriculture District to the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar District for allowed forms located at the northwest corner of East 85th Street and South Cliff Avenue. Item 7, 7071 2017, rezoned from the RA2 Apartment Residential Moderate Density District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban O Office and C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar Districts for allowed forms located east of South Sycamore Avenue and north of East 41st Street. Item 8, 7078 2017, rezoned from the AG Agriculture District to the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District for allowed forms located north of West 41st Street and west of South Ellis Road. Item 9, 7080 2017, rezoned from the O Office District to the RA1 Apartment Residential Low Density District for allowed forms located at the northeast corner of West Benson Road and North Oklahoma Avenue. Item 10, 7076 2017, preliminary subdivision plan for Sunset Creek Addition located north of West 41st Street and west of South Ellis Road. Item 11, 7085 2017, initial development plan for CSD Institutional Campus Planned Unit Development located at the northeast corner of East 10th Street and South Mabel Avenue.
Very good. Thank you, Denise. Is there any member of the commission that would like to have any of items 1 through 11 moved to the regular agenda? Seeing none. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to move one of the items 1 through 11 to the regular agenda? Yes, sir. Please come forward. Good evening.
Chris Pappas, 47488 85th, calling or stopping by about item number 6 as it's drawn.
Item number 6, very good.
Thank you.
Is there any other members in the audience who would like to see items moved from the consent agenda to the regular agenda? Seeing none, commissioners, I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. At this point, then, I will look for a motion to amend moving item number 6 to the regular agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second to move item number 6 to the regular agenda. Any discussion at this point? All in favor of amending the agenda to move item number 6 to the regular agenda, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. And now we'll take the vote on the amended consent agenda, moving item number 6 to the regular agenda. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. And the consent agenda, moving item number 6, has been approved. If you are here for items 1 through 11, with the exception of item number 6, you're free to go at this time, and we will move forward then with the regular agenda. Denise? We did.
Need to approve the regular agenda?
Oh, apologies. Real quick. Move to approve the regular agenda now, adding item number 6.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion at this time on that? All in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, regular agenda. Go ahead, Denise.
Item 6, 6998, 2017, rezone from the AG Agriculture District to the C2 Commercial Neighborhood and Streetcar District for allowed forms located at the northwest corner of East 85th Street and South Cliff Avenue.
Jason Bieber representing Planning and Building Services. This is an application by Eric Willardson. It's located at the northwest corner of East 85th Street and South Cliff Avenue. The purpose of this rezoning is the applicant is looking at constructing a future commercial and office development that will kind of coincide with the existing commercial development to the north of this. The proposed zoning does meet the Sioux Falls Comprehensive Plan. The additional commercial acres should still be within the 7.5 to 30 acres of commercial zoning allowed in a neighborhood employment center designation as indicated within this comprehensive plan. If this rezoning is approved, the applicant can construct his office and commercial development. If the rezoning is denied, that parcel would continue to be zoned ag and would allow, various production and keeping of animals. Because the subject application is consistent with the Sioux Falls Comprehensive Plan, staff does recommend approval of this rezoning, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Commissioners, any questions for staff on item number 6? Very good. Thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here this evening? Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Eric Willardson Lund Engineering, 902 South Cleveland, Sioux Falls. Here tonight representing the owner of the property. I guess I'm not sure why Mr. Pappas pulled it. Maybe we need to hear from him as to if he has some concerns.
Sure, very good.
Otherwise, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to.
We will get to that point, yes, exactly. Commissioners, any questions for the applicant at this time? Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak regarding item number 6? Please come forward and state your name and address for the record. Thank you, sir. Good evening.
My name's Chris Pappas, 47488 85th. I reside at the property directly west of this. This is my family home. It will be for some time yet in the foreseeable future. And the way the plan is drawn, it shows no setback. I was going to see if there's any way that we could put a little buffer in there, 30 to 50 feet possibly. Because that retail building on the southwest corner actually is probably 5 feet from my driveway, as it's drawn on the plan.
Sure, very good. Any other questions or concerns at this point?
No, I welcome it. The timing's not the greatest for me, but I welcome it. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm just, for the safety of my young children who run up and down the driveway, I'm just kind of concerned, just a little bit. So I was asking for the buffer.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Mr. Pappas. We'll see if we can't get that addressed here for you.
You
real
guys
quick.
do your best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Either staff or the applicant, if you'd like to come up and just address his concerns regarding buffers as he was questioning.
Yeah, as we go forward with these rezonings, that they offer just kind of a concept plan of what it could look like. Depending on if Mr. Pappas's home is still to the west of this, Level C buffer yard would be required between a commercial RE3 form and a single-family residential property within or outside of the city limits. And that would include that 30-foot buffer for a building or 20 for a parking lot. You'd have a 4-foot berm or 6-foot fence and 40 units of landscaping for every 100 lineal feet. So that should be addressed. This is just a concept though, so.
Very good. Thank you, Jason. Sound good?
If I could only understand exactly what Jason just said, I would probably be all up and jumping up and down for it, but I really don't. But I really do just respect that you guys do the best that you can, and I understand that this is conceptual, this isn't actual, what's getting built. So things are gonna probably change a little bit, and who knows, by the time that it actually gets built, maybe I'll be gone too, so who knows? There's gonna be a berm, from what I understand.
One or
possibly?
the other.
There would have to be.
It's required.
And then, how many feet did you say? 20 feet, 30 feet?
30.
Oh, excuse me. I'm
Correct.
sorry.
He said 20 feet for a parking lot, 30 feet for a structure.
Oh, all right, perfect, thank you. Good. That was the 30 to 50 then. Perfect, thank you.
Very good. Anyone else in the audience like to speak regarding item number 6? Seeing none, I'll look for commission action.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve item number 6. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, it seems like a good area for C2, and I think that's one of the nice things about the shaped places is we have those buffer yards built in, so we don't have to worry about it when we're talking about a rezone. When it comes to the building, that's just required in the ordinance, so it should satisfy the neighbors.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Any other comments? Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of item number 6, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. Item number 6 is approved.
Item 12, 6979, 2017, conditional use permit for an off-premise sign located at 4009 West 41st Street.
Good evening, Diane DeCoyer with planning staff. The conditional use is a request by the Empire Mall. Again, this is for an off-premise sign over 288 square feet. The proposed sign would be located adjacent to I-29 on the west side of the Empire Mall property and would be two-sided with a total of 672 square feet. It's a freestanding, full-color digital billboard. The digital billboard would be located at the west side of the mall property, so just north of where this pond is indicated. The CUP standard for off-premise signs indicates that the sign shall be located on the site in a manner that will minimize the negative effects of the sign. Off-premise signs shall be encouraged to be a height that allows them to be seen, but not so high as to permit visual pollution in the area. These signs should be required to be spaced in a sufficient distance from each other to avoid the negative impact of several large signs concentrated in one area. Signs shall be reviewed and special consideration given for the following aesthetic quality categories: structure, number of design support poles, size, shape, color, maximum height, maximum area, lighting, electronics, extensions, and eye catchers. With a single support base for the structure of the sign, height, and area of the sign, it is complementary to the intent of a special consideration of an off-premise sign in the C4 Commercial Regional District. The digital nature of the sign may have negative effects on the traveling public. Visual pollution is based upon visibility, glare, brightness, color, changes in images, etc. If constructed correctly, there shouldn't be any negative effects to this. There is an existing digital board on I-29 approximately 1/2 mile to the north of this location that is similar. Because the applicant has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed, staff recommends approval of the CUP. And I can answer any questions you have.
Very good. Thank you, Diane. Commissioners, any questions? Thank you very much. Is the applicant here this evening? Good evening, sir.
Will Berzlica, 3010 West 10th Street.
Anything to add, Will?
Other than what's been said already. I guess I have nothing else to add, but if you have any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for the applicant? Thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak regarding item number 12? Seeing none, I will look for commission action.
Make a motion to approve item number 12.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussions? Discussion. Seeing none. All those in favor of approval of item number 12, please signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed, same sign. Item number 12 is approved.
Item 13, 7047, 2017, conditional use permit for an electronic message center sign located in a residential zoning district located at 3300 East 18th Street.
So Grace Lutheran Church has requested a conditional use permit for an electronic message center. The church is located at 3300 East 18th Street, and the proposed sign would be located at the southeast corner of the property near the East 18th and South Edwards Drive corner. The submitted plan indicates a two-sided sign, 1 foot, 7 inches tall by 8 foot wide. It's a digital sign that sits perpendicular to East 18th Street, and each side of the sign is approximately 12 square feet. Numerous churches within Sioux Falls have installed electronic message centers that are situated along arterial streets and oriented away from residential uses. The proposed sign would be located directly across from Cleveland Elementary School to the east and residential to the south. We have heard concerns from neighbors, at least one that I'm aware of that is here tonight. Staff does feel that the applicant has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and extent of the work proposed and recommends approval of the conditional use permit. On another note, because it is adjacent to Cleveland Elementary, there are also quite a few schools now that, especially with Harrisburg, that are adding digital boards out in front. So that's not uncommon to see them at a school location as well, in case that issue may come up in discussion tonight. I can answer any questions you have.
Commissioners, any questions for staff at this point?
So Diane, you mentioned that they're commonly along arterials. 18th Street is a collector, is that correct?
Collector, yeah. In this case, it is a collector.
Next step below an arterial, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Diane. And is the applicant here this evening? It's good to be in the sign business, right?
Will Verzica, 3010 West 10th Street.
Anything to add?
Other than what she said, no, I don't have anything to add.
Very good. Commissioners?
Questions?
Thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak regarding item number 13?
Question. Hi, I'm Cleo Weidrich. I live at 3209 East 18th. I'm towards the west end of the property, directly at the corner of Laurie and 18th. I am opposed to it. You know, Diane gave me a term here that I'd never thought about, and that's light pollution. We've been in the neighborhood for 40 years, and it's nice when the sun goes down, everything gets dimmed down, and it's quiet. The church did invite us over Monday evening to talk to him, and unfortunately only 2 of us from the neighborhood attended that meeting, which was great. We talked for probably an hour or better. And in that, found out that Augustad and Lutheran had one. And discussing the address or where it was at, we were unsure what cross street it was on Prairie. Coming from the south, when I got to 9th Street, it was obvious where it was. It was 2 blocks ahead. You could see the sign that far away, being lit. And other concerns in the neighborhood are safety. A lot of our neighbors that Mina and I have talked to just refuse to come and voice their opinions. But safety concerns. We're blessed with a lot of accidents on that 2-block stretch. If you look at Tabor, Circle, and 18th, they're coming up a hill, and then they have to turn. So once they get to the top of the hill is when they'll be able to see the sign, and it takes approximately 8 seconds to go from there, correct, to where you'd be in the front of the sign. And I think Diane's depiction of where the sign was going to be is actually a little further to the west. Was that correct, Siri? The location of the sign is going to be where the existing one is? Yeah, I was under the impression that it was going to be covering the existing, or be in the existing area. Okay, well then that's all right. But then coming from the east is you're also coming up a hill and on a curve. And during the school year, as you can see in that picture, there are cars parked along the front of there. And we're all aware of distracted driving. And this is not a street where you need to have distracted drivers. I think those message centers work very well where you have stop signs or red lights where people are captive and they sit and read a little while. That was another thing I noticed the other night going north on Prairie by Augustana. I didn't read the message. I couldn't because of traffic and concentrating on driving. So my advice to them was really research it and see if this is going to be what their dollar wants to be spent for. But as a neighborhood, I'd like to keep it a neighborhood. We are a collector street, not an arterial street. And in speaking to Wes from engineering, it never will be an arterial street. It's just not wide enough. But I would like to have our residents respected and do without the message sign. Thank you.
Real quick, sir. Commissioners, any questions?
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Weidrich? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anyone else like to speak regarding item number 13?
Yes, I live right across the street from where the sign is going to go up. My name is Mina Keppen. I live at 3309 East 18th Street. On behalf of the neighbors that are directly across from the sign, one neighbor's out of town and the other neighbor doesn't, but everybody else across the road, we are all opposed to it. It's a safety issue. We have a narrow 2-lane. We've had several accidents where front decks have been taken off people's houses. Also, you know, they have lighting, kids turn their lights, and I've came around the corner, as he stated, there's a curve, and when the lights from the church have been turned just right, it literally blinds you when it shines because you're coming around that curve in the face. And I've went and turned the signs, I've left messages for them, and I really think it would be a safety issue coming around the corner where it would be too. I also question whether it would be shining right in the face of the drivers as they come around that corner from there. It's a very busy street and it's a very dangerous street, but it's a narrow 2-lane street. Also, all of us neighbors, we enjoy sitting on our front lawns. Several of them have decks. These are our homes. These are our neighborhood. We don't wish to sit out there and look at an advertisement. For a business district, it may be okay. This is a residential neighborhood with small families, with children. We enjoy our neighborhood. We're all good. We all look out for one another. Almost all of us have lived there 20+ years in that neighborhood. So we all get along. We're all good neighbors. And there's been other issues that have fallen on deaf ears with the church, and we really feel that it's a safety issue, and we don't want it. This is our home, and we would ask that all of you would look at it as if this was your home and it was a narrow 2-lane road. Would you guys want it? And we went and we listened to the church the other night, and I did go over right after I got done meeting with the church, and I went over and looked at the sign at Augustana, and that sign is a 1/6 of the size that this huge sign is going to be. And you can see it from 2 or 3 blocks away. And it's, like I said, a 1/6 of the size of the sign that is going to, that they want to put up. And all of the neighbors, my block is V-shaped. Like I said, one is out of town and the other one really doesn't care. The rest of us is all opposed to it that are directly across from it. We feel it's going to be a very big safety issue, not only for us, but also for the safety of the drivers going by. If you come up around the corner, that light's going to be right where you come up around the corner by the school, and it's going to be right there. There's a curve coming around the road from the other sign, but it could possibly light could shine in the face of the drivers as they are coming around the corner. I myself personally, when they have a crossover there and they have little signs down in the grass, kids have turned them, they've changed the light bulbs, and it shined just right. I come around the corner and I had to stop in the middle of the road because it literally blinded me in the face and I couldn't see where I was going. And I really question that, but we don't want it, and I hate to be good, appeal it, but we just don't want it. None of us that live directly across from it want it. We enjoy our front yards. We enjoy sitting out with each other in lawn chairs out in the front yards. Kids ride bikes, kids play. There's little kids right next door to the church. And we question, even my neighbors next door have a front deck. I work, so I'm not home the same hours that they are. They don't work. They said there's been numerous accidents almost caused by the city's yellow zoning signs that you've put out there because people have hit their brakes to stop it, look at the sign, and somebody else is right behind them. And right now, there's construction on Bonson and 18th, so we don't have as much traffic as we usually do, but there's normally a lot of traffic there. And there's been almost numerous accidents caused just by people hitting their brakes to read the yellow signs that are out there. So we would really, question the area that it would be put, the safety for the neighborhood, and also for the drivers, for seeing that as a distraction for safe driving. I know my neighbor next door said, there's some safe driving laws about distraction for safe driving and stuff. And he's opposed to it because of that. He thinks it's a distraction from safe driving, and it's a narrow 2-lane road, and it's a residential neighborhood. So I would ask that you guys would please listen to us. We don't want to have to go and appeal it or appeal to the city commissioners, but we will if we need to, because we want to protect the safety of our neighborhood. These are our homes. There's a lot of children in the neighborhood, and we want to protect that. And, I hope that you would listen, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
Mr. Chair, yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions on conditions that you would put on the sign? I mean, are you suggesting that there's certain hours that you have more concern than others during the daytime?
We really don't want it at all. We don't want an electronic sign at all.
Okay.
These are our front lawns. These are our homes. And, it's not, as they stated, they probably have room for 40 or 50 cars for parking. They probably have 300 to 400 cars. There's a continual issue with all of our driveways being blocked. There's homes behind all around in the same block as the church. They're families with little children that live right next door to the parking lot of the church. And we really don't feel it's a residential neighborhood. These are our homes. It's not like it's a business district where there's a lot of businesses. And, even Cleveland and, the school next door, that's more where there's no houses all around it. There's houses within the same block as the church that are behind it, right next door to it, right across the road.
You, but this has nothing to do with the parking issue, which I
Right.
certainly respect your concerns for that, but this has nothing to do with it. It's really more just in regards to the sign.
But these are our homes. Even the people, they share the same block. Their homes are right there next to the church. It's not like the church has the whole block and there's no other residences there. There's residences right next door. There's residences right across the road.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Any other questions, commissioners, at this point? Okay. Is there anyone else who would like to come and speak related to item number 13? Please come up. And as you're coming up, I just want to reiterate what I've kind of surmised so far. We have concerns about distracted driving, light pollution, safety of pedestrians and other drivers in the neighborhood, and ambient light concerns even from the existing church property at this time. So with that in mind, if you have additional new testimony beyond those subjects to discuss, please go ahead.
My name is Darren Miller, 3900 East Steeple Street. I'm the Grace Lutheran Church Council President. And I guess what I could add is just why we want the sign and why we think it could be beneficial. Really our intent for the sign is to invite the neighborhood to worship at Grace and to partake in the activities and the programming that we have. And not only the programming put on by the church, but we let other organizations use our building. We really, our current sign is pretty unreadable. It's like a granite sign from like 50 years ago, and pretty ineffective. You know, Grace has been in the Hilltop neighborhood for over 60 years, and we do identify as a neighborhood church, and we want to be a good neighbor. One thing that we think we can do to be a good neighbor is let the neighborhood know about the programming and the activities and the things that we can offer. And that's truly our intent with the sign. I think that would be my main comment.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Miller?
I have a question. Did you consider any limitations on hours of operation, or in your conversations with the neighbors, was there any compromising that you identified?
Yep, we had, we did send a letter to the neighbors, and we put in there that we would turn the sign off at 10 p.m. and I think back on at 6 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else like to speak regarding item number 13 on new topics we haven't discussed already? Hello.
My name is Siri Sorensen. I'm the pastor of Grace Lutheran. I live in the county, actually, 48186 257th Street, but I serve as the pastor and spend most of my hours in the Hilltop neighborhood. Maybe to say that our church has been a part of the Hilltop neighborhood since the neighborhood's development. And so the intent of the development of the neighborhood was that there would be a church located on 18th and Edwards. And W.G. Tabbert provided the land for the church, and Tabbert Construction, who built many of the homes right around the church, also constructed the first unit of our church building, and he provided $10,000 towards the building of the church. So as the neighborhood was developed, especially that part of Hilltop, the intent was that there would be a church in the neighborhood. And our church is a multi-generational church, so we are a family church, and as the neighborhood is a family neighborhood, that's what we have members who are 6 months old up to age 100, and we have programming for people of all those ages. We have family programming, we have youth programming, we have elementary age programming, elder care and elder programming for such, for example, we have all kinds of events that happen that we would like to let people know about. We do things like we have a foot care clinic, we provide blood pressure and blood sugar checks. Monthly, we have a resource library of services. We try to be a resource saying if you need help with something, we have it. We can let you know who to talk to. We provide a safe space at Halloween for trick-or-treating. We have Scout Troops, Lego League, continuing ed for trauma room nurses. We offer also, all the spiritual aspects of a church. We have a drive-up prayer that we've started. If you want to come on Wednesdays between 7:30 and 8:30, we have somebody who will pray with you and give you a cup of coffee. So we do caring and serving, and really our mission is to, the last part of our mission statement is that we are about developing leaders, making leaders of people. And we do that through faith development, but also all these programs. And we really are the village. If you want a village in which to raise your kids, we are that, because we are a church that cares for each other and celebrates with each other and empowers people to serve in the community. And we just want to let people know what we do and invite people, and you can come to anything we do, whether you are a member of the congregation or not. And 18th Street is a busy street. But it is one of the streets, the few streets that actually runs through the middle of Hilltop, that doesn't, go around the hill or down the hill, but goes through the neighborhood, the center of the neighborhood. It's a bus route. We are directly adjacent to the school, and so people are coming to the school quite regularly. And so having a messaging sign where we could say all the things that we are doing and invite people to those things along 18th would be an effective way to communicate all that we're doing. And people today communicate electronically. And so we would like to use, relevant current means of communication. And as Darren mentioned, the sign will go off at night. It also reacts to the light so that as it gets darker in the evening, the sign gets dimmer. So it's got that, I'm not a technical person, so I can't tell you the technology phrase for that, but it will react to the light, so it won't be constant brightness like some signs are, and it doesn't face the houses directly across the street. It's perpendicular to 18th. You know, great things are happening at our church that benefit the community. And so, you know, as I said, we are that village that raises children, celebrates joys and sorrows, and supports people in times of need, and we empower people to serve. And so, you know, I do encourage you to approve this conditional use permit, that we might inform people and invite people to be a part of this community that we are. So I thank you for your attention and your time and your service to our city. And I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Commissioners? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak regarding item number 13?
Good evening. Jeff Eckhoff, 816 North Savannah Drive. I'm the current vice president for the congregation. Just two quick things on the sign. One would be that there's a sign in front of the grade school. It's the old sign that's just white, and they put the letters in the little slots. And the lumens on this would be much less than that. And then the second thing is we've agreed that we would have no scrolling messages. So it'll all, whatever fits on one screen would be the message at a time. There'd be no scrolling. Just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Any other questions for, sorry, Mr. Adolph? Thank you.
Eckhoff.
All right, any other public commentary on item number 13? Okay, at this time, I will close the floor to public testimony and look for commission action.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 13.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have a motion to approve item number 13. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Discussion, please.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think that I'm in favor of approving this, not only because of the dimming of the light, but also because I believe you said you turn it off from 10 until 6 a.m. And if there would have been some suggestion of any conditions that would have been acceptable to the neighbors, I think maybe we all would have considered that, but there weren't any. And so I am in favor of approving this.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair, do we need to add those as additional conditions or from an operating standpoint, or is that assumed?
That is an option, Commissioner, but just to reiterate what Commissioner Anderson said, those speaking for the neighborhood were not in favor of the sign at all. So at this point, her recommendation or her motion did not include any conditions. But yes, we can add them to answer your question.
Yes. Could I amend her motion to add those as additional conditions?
You can certainly make a motion to do as such.
I just did.
I'm sorry, so what is your
Move
motion?
to amend motion to approve the sign with the additional conditions regarding the duration and the dimming of the lights.
More specifically, what would those conditions be, Commissioner?
Timing off from 10 till
10 p.m.
6. And the automatic dimming as it gets darker, the sign goes down in light.
Sure, which is part of the functionality. I don't know, how do we gauge?
I think we just do the hours operation is what we can.
Hours of operation?
Having it.
Yeah.
That'd be sufficient for your, okay.
6
Right,
a.m.
that's fine.
So to clean that up real quick, you would like to propose an amended motion for the sign to be shut off by permit between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Yes.
Second.
And a second. Any further discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor of the amended motion for the hours of operation to cease between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. Very good. So now we'll go back to the main question. Item number 13, there was a motion and a second now with an amended condition added for the hours of operation restriction. Any other discussion on this matter?
Mr. Chair? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I struggle with these, especially when it's in a residential area. And we're not on an arterial street. It is a collector. I don't know if a lighted sign that has stuff going on should be in this area, so I'm going to oppose it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, I also think these are difficult. This particular one is a little bit different than the Augustana Lutheran one in my mind because there is more offsets. There is some yard here where that particular case there wasn't much of a yard available. This one also, because of its configuration adjacent to the school, doesn't provide as much light bleed to some of those residences. I think they did a decent job of locating it in such a way that it seems like it protects most of those residences, and I would guess most all of them, especially if it's cut off at 10 p.m. That gives a higher comfort level. And the difficult thing about these kinds of decisions in my mind are always trying to balance property rights, because this is a church that has been here a very long time. This is a trend to include these more and more and a desire to get the message out. And so I can appreciate all of those things. And we ultimately have to try and balance neighborhood concerns with property rights. And that's always the challenge. And really, I'm going to be in support of this one.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion?
I have a little bit of a hard time agreeing with this. Part of it's the size. Again, I'll use Augustana Lutherans as an example. We weren't really in favor of that one either, and that's a lot smaller one. And I don't know if any of the other commissioners have been down that road since they put the sign up. It is very bright. Now we're putting up one 5 times bigger than that one. I have some issues with that, so I'm not really in favor of it.
Is it that's a question. We heard somebody say that it was 5 times bigger. I'm not sure that it is.
Yeah,
if we could have staff clarify that.
I believe that the height is similar to what Augustana Lutheran. It may be a little bit longer, but it is not 5 times. And Will with Pride Neon could probably answer that more specifically because he did represent that project as well, if you want to find out from him.
That would be.
Yeah, it is 12 square feet on each side is what that dimension, 1'7" by 8 foot, so.
Thank you, Mr. Brassica. Could you refresh our memories what the square footage of the Augustana Lutheran sign was? Do you have those specs?
Off the top of my head, are we talking just the digital portion? Yeah, the digital portion was 12 square feet. Yeah.
Digital portion, same size as this proposed sign?
Yes, I believe so.
Very good.
I don't have the specs with me, but my memory serves me right.
Digital portion is just a tish bigger, but okay.
Yeah.
12 versus 15.
Oh, this is 15?
This is 15, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the digital portion is 1'7" tall. Grace Lutheran is a static sign up at the top that's 17 inches. Okay, so 1'7" tall by 8 foot.
15.3, according to the information presented to us. It's 15.3 square feet.
So it's slightly larger.
That's what I said. It's just a little bit larger.
Slightly larger, correct.
Very good. Any other questions for the applicant while he's up at this point? Thank you, sir. Commissioner Gasper, any other questions, comments?
No.
Very good. Any other discussion? All right, at this point, we have a motion and a second. We have an approved conditional use for the timing, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. only. All those in favor of item number 13, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign.
Yes.
I'll call the roll just for the record on that. Commissioner Sershin.
No.
Anderson.
Yes.
Lukey.
Yes.
Irvin.
Yes.
Gaspar.
No.
Paulson.
Yes.
Fegan.
Yes.
5 to 2 in favor. Item number 13 passes.
Item 14, 7084, 2017, preliminary subdivision plan for KNWC addition located at the southeast corner of West 69th Street and South Tallgrass Avenue.
The applicant here is Paul Korn with Sayer Associates. This is located at the southeast corner of West 69th Street and South Tallgrass Avenue, kind of southwest of the Avera Heart Hospital. The purpose is to subdivide this property into 8 lots for commercial and office uses. At the time of the report that was presented to the Planning Commission, there were still 2 tasks that the applicant was working through with engineering department. One was dealing with the right-of-way size, the other was an access permit. Since that time, Paul with Sayer Associates has had the ability to meet with the engineering staff to go through the other 2 tasks remaining. They have come to an agreement on those, and engineering staff is supportive of us changing our recommendation from deferral now to approval for this preliminary subdivision plan.
Very good. Commissioners, any questions for staff on item number 14? Thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here this evening? Good evening.
Good evening. Paul Korn with Sayer Associates on behalf of the University of Northwestern St. Paul. Can address any questions you might have. Oh, address is 216 South Duluth Avenue.
Oh, sure. Sorry. I meant anything to add.
Oh, nothing to add. So,
very good. Commissioners, any questions? Thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak regarding item number 14? Seeing none, I will look for commission action.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Got a motion for approval and a second for item number 14. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval of item number 14, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. Item number 14 is approved.
Mr. Chair, I need to recuse myself for item number 15.
Thank you.
Item 15, 6839, 2017, preliminary subdivision plan for Legacy North Farm, second edition, located south of West Madison Street, east of North Ebenezer Avenue, and west of I-29.
The applicant here is Eric Wildson. This is located at the southwest corner of West Madison Street, and you can see I-29. The purpose of this specific preliminary plan is to subdivide this into 22 lots for commercial and office uses. At the time of this report, this is a similar thing to the previous request that we had. At the time of the report, they did have one additional task that needed to be completed to engineering satisfaction. They were able to meet with engineering, I believe, yesterday. And they have given the green light to allow this preliminary subdivision plan to proceed on to council. So we are changing our recommendation to approval for this preliminary subdivision plan.
Very good. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here? Good evening again.
Evening again, Eric Willidson, Lund Engineering here representing the owners of the property. As Jason indicated, they've changed their recommendation to approval, and with that, I'd answer any questions anyone have on the project.
Commissioners?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak regarding item number 15? Seeing none, I will look for commission action.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Got a motion for an approval and a second for item number 15. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approval, item number 15, please signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed, same sign. Item number 15 is approved. And here we have some new business this evening.
Item 16 is an informational item, the Citizens Planning Academy.
Thank you. I guess I'm here tonight to represent the entire planning department who have been working on, as part of our strategic plan, have been working on to implement more public service and educational outreach, and also to celebrate National Planning Month, which is always every October. We are looking to establish what we're calling a Citizens Planning Academy, a pilot program. We have presented this to the City Council informational meeting to get their blessing with moving forward with this specific academy. And then I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an introduction and anybody at home that's watching this. The purpose of the Planning Academy is to provide another opportunity to demonstrate planning and building services efforts to implement our vision and mission statements. We want to encourage citizens' participation and empowerment to achieve better understanding of our community planning, what we do, and what you guys do as a board. We want to offer an educational forum in a community building, the downtown library, and we do want to increase public awareness of October 2017 being National Planning Month. I'm sure not too many people know that October is a planning month. So, just a brief description of what the Planning Academy will be. It will be an educational program accessible to any resident who is interested in learning more about the role planning plays in building community. The goal is obviously to empower citizens to achieve a better understanding of community planning and its language and processes so they can effectively engage in planning efforts both in their neighborhood and throughout the city. And then we'll kind of just run down some basic timelines and some what we're envisioning for the program. Right now we're kind of estimating 20 to 25 people. Hopefully we can get to sign up for the first round of this program. We are looking to have 2 sessions during October for the planning month. They will both be held on Monday, October 2nd, and on Monday, October 30th. That will be from 5:30 to 7:30 in the downtown library meeting room B. And then we kind of came up with just a rough outline of what we are planning to do for the first one on October 2nd. We're looking at trying to get an icebreaker, trying to get to know some people. We'd like to give them a little quick history of the national and local planning, give them an idea what land use and zoning is, and then give them some components and tools for a well-planned city and growth management. That would be going through the comprehensive plan and zoning ordinance, similar to what you as a planning commission do for your orientation. And then we'd like to open it up the last 30 to 40 minutes to really get an idea and gauge the interest of what our participants want to learn about, and specifically at that time, and then also to be able to utilize that to maybe tailor our second session to more if they're interested in historical preservation, if they're interested in what's going here, if they're interested in the transportation, any of that different stuff. We would love to be able to tailor that second session to what they wanna learn about. And so for the second session, we've come up with just a couple of quick agenda items. Also, we'd like to run through the planning applications, what we do, what kind of applications we have. Public hearing process, give them a good idea of what we do, when the meetings are, notifications. And then we'd also like to get into some of the neighborhood issues that we as a staff and you as a planning commission hear quite a bit: property values, compatibility, drainage, and traffic. And then also give them another idea or another 30 to 40 minutes to bring up any kind of topics they may have. And as I indicated before, some of these agenda items may switch if for some reason they're interested in other aspects of planning. And then we also are looking at actually doing a registration for this Planning Academy for 3 main reasons: to gauge citizen interest, to make sure that we'll have enough space at the downtown library. I believe we can hold between 25 and 30 people. And then to really understand what the people that are going to spend their nights working with us, what kind of topics of interest they really have. And this is just kind of a quick proposed timeline with it as we go. We've done some things before that, heading to City Council, really getting the blessing of the City Council as well as City Administration. We're coming in front of you guys with the Planning Commission meeting informational item, and we're looking at mid-August to try and start rolling out registration for the Academy. We would also like to do some press releases and possibly press conference, any kind of way to get the word of mouth out about what we're looking at doing. And then we would have the October 2nd first session. We would go to City Council to do a proclamation for National Planning Month. Then we would have our second session on October 30th. And then we would like to have those participants or anybody that is available to actually come to the city council meeting to be able to recognize them for going through this 4-hour program and to really show the city of Sioux Falls these people really want to learn more about what planning is. I think that's all I have for you. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I just want to give a shout out to Russ Sorensen and Sam Trebelcock, who've really done a lot of work on this specific project. It's been kind of a learning experience, and we hope it goes well because it'd be something that other cities have done, and it'd be something we'd love to continue to do in the future. So we'd love to have your help if you know anybody that's interested to spread the word, and hopefully we can get 20 to 25 people to participate. So.
Sounds like a really good program. Thank you, Jason. Commissioners, any questions or comments for Jason at this point?
Mr. Chair, I agree. Great idea. Is registration available or will be available online, most likely?
Yeah, we are looking at trying to get it developed online. I don't know if it'll be an actual form fillable online or a way for them just to print it out and send it. We'll have email to be able for them to email it back and all that kind of stuff. So whatever's as easy as possible, we want to try and get it out because we want to make sure we want to try and get as many people as we can to do this. So.
Thank you.
Very good. Any other comments?
Great idea.
Thank you, Jason.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second